Well, I think this poem is kind of a reflection of what we're all experiencing when we listen to Bill and Isabel read their poetry. Poetry, the art of the voice. How fine will your breath become from listening to these words? How soft will they seem to be as they settle through the mind like silent snowflakes falling from a windless winter sky? I often marvel at the mystery that words can work on a listener's heart and mind. Upon hearing a poet's thoughts, a poet's breath flowing from an inner voice, a windless wind speaking through a voiceless voice. You talk about trees. I remember one day I was walking in the UBC, University of British Columbia endowment lands with a friend, and I was admiring this tree. It was just really beautiful, the trunk and everything. And then it was as if something came back to me from the tree, and I took the words that were in my mind, and the next day this poem came out. I never had a title for it until I eventually called it Being in Nature, a gift from the tree. The realness of natural things, the nearness of you, the beauty that nature brings when seeing is true, the silence that inward sings when hearing is clear, the harmony between all beings, it exists right here. And here's my first poem, basically, that sort of wrote itself and was published, and I won an award for it. And when things like that happen, you really can't take credit for it. It's just good luck. But you're thankful. And it's called Ode to the Artist, Sketching Lotus Pads at Round Prairie Park. Black lines briefly sketched on paper capture our appearance, but not our essence. Your attention interests us, although others have never before. Your watchful eyes tell us we are a part of you. Can you feel our thoughts? Can you think our feelings? We do yours, and we thank you for committing us to memory, for long after we've gone and transmuted ourselves back into nature, our likeness will remind you that we were, and your response will touch our hearts. That was sort of like Shruti, that which you hear. And then the publisher wanted another poem, and I got really nervous about that. So this one came out as Smriti, the memory of the whole experience, and pretty much a generic way of explaining how the creative process, or trying to understand it. Sometimes poetry happens. Some poets can write from reflected experience, referring back to what was written. Others need to be there in full view of their subject, opening up to what's being given. Sometimes poetry happens between the two. It's then you don't really write the poem, it writes you. You just put it down on paper. When you see it there, you've captured it. Or rather, it's captured you. What really happened between the two? To explore that space between you and me is to discover who we are. For deep within, at the source of the gap, lie the togetherness of the three: the seer, the seen, and the poetry in between. This is a little poem that my daughter brought home, a big leaf without the skin on it, and it sort of triggered this poem called As Above, So Below. As above, so below, allowing love to help things grow, repeating the pattern to copy each other. In the daughter is the mother. In each snowflake a glistening star. This whole universe is what we are. In each leaf we see a tree. For every branch a capillary. In each tree not seen are seeds. And in each seed is found a tree. So are we found in thee, as thou, O Lord, in each of me. And a couple years later, I was stuck in Houston, Texas. And some friend took me out of that place of tar and noise and glass and cement, and we went to a park, and I saw these ponderosa pine cones, which were humongous. I've never seen anything like that. I brought a few back to my room and was just looking at them, and then this poem came out, Pine Cone Trees. Marveling, beholding sequential symmetries, nature reveals to me her inner mysteries. Spiraling, unfolding to spread their seeds, the cones of the conifers look like trees. Evergreen miniatures dancing, wait, let me start over. We'll pick up where we left off. I can't do that. Pine cone trees. Marveling, beholding sequential symmetries, nature reveals to me her inner mysteries. That one's going to have to wait. It's so simple, but I just can't remember it.
Remains mysterious.
Yeah, let's go to something mysterious. Thank you. I was in Jakarta, and it's a very special place in Indonesia. And I spent the first couple of nights and days just sleeping and meditating and getting over 17 hours of jet lag. And then very, very early in the morning, before the mullahs started chanting, I heard these words come into my head, and they were very strange. I was fighting getting up, but I finally did and wrote them down. And then this thing came out. It's called Indonesia Mystery Poem. He hides within the rock of 3 dimensions and cannot be found in this world. When night comes, she rises like a moon to shine her light upon the mountain. The sea dances, rising and falling like a lover in her arms. What pull does she have on his life as she looks for a partner to dance with? The moon bows before the rising sun, and he is left breathless. People who lived there later told me what that was all about. It's the queen of the southern seas. There's a myth there where she meets with the king once a year up in the tower, and everyone waits for their consummation. And she always takes the souls of people swimming in green swimming trunks. That's her color. And dance, anyway, it was kind of magical. Let's see. Let's try that again. Pine cone trees. Marveling, beholding sequential symmetries, nature reveals to me her inner mysteries. Spiraling, unfolding, to spread their seeds, the cones of the conifers look like trees. parallel helixes winding all around, evergreen miniatures painted ever brown, dancing, rolling, whirling on the ground. The trees and the pine seeds are wanting to be found. We are found to be wanting. You are wanting to be found.
Mm.